In this next project, we're going to play 3 chords that you already know, the 1, 4, and 5 chords in a key, but we're not going to be in the key of C anymore. We're going to be playing the 1, 4, and 5 chords in the key of G. How is this different? Well, for that, let's just back up a little bit and look at what the key of C is and why it is the key of C. I'm going to start here on the note C. So this scale sounds the way it sounds because of the arrangements of half steps and whole steps. This is a whole step. And the reason for that is that there's a note in between, this one. So this is a half step. This is a whole step. So our major scale likes to go like this. Whole step, half step. See the half step there? Nothing in between. Whole step, whole step, whole step, and finally a half step. So that is the arrangement, the natural arrangement of the keys on the piano keyboard. You can see that the half steps are here. So when we play in the key of C, everything's easy because the arrangement of half steps and whole steps is already determined for us by the piano keyboard. But if we wanted to play in the key of G, for example, C, D, E, F, G, and call this our home bass, what modifications do we have to do to keep the same arrangement of half steps and whole steps? Well, let's see. Here is my whole step. So far, so good. Here's another whole step. And then another half step. So far, everything's fine. Whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole. Oh no, we don't have a whole step here. So between these two notes, we need a whole step. I need to get to here. And by doing that, by creating a whole step there, I create a half step here. So we do have to use this note. We do have to use this note. It's F sharp. So to play a G scale, we have to start on the note G, and then we have to play all the way up and use that note F sharp instead of this note F. It sounds funny if you do that. It's just a different scale. That's called the Mixolydian mode, but we'll save that for another lesson. Right now, all you really need to know is that this F sharp is going to replace F every time we need it. So how does that affect us? Well, let's start playing our chords. So if G is our first chord, I'm playing the same notes I would play in the key of C. G, B, and D. Now let's go to our next chord, the 4 chord. That's going to be a C chord, and I'm going to use an inversion, so I'm going to use the notes C, E, and instead of going all the way up here, I'm going to go here. So here's my first maneuver. It's a G chord to a C chord. And let me move this up an octave. There. So now I'm up an octave. That sounds a little better. So there's my first chord. I'm going to move to my C chord. Just by moving those first 2 notes up, I'm using the comma and the letter Q, and back. Now that motion probably feels really familiar. You've done that before. But now to get to our D chord, we're going to keep this D up top, and we're going to move this note down to A, and instead of playing F, we're going to play F sharp. There's our F sharp. So the whole chord progression is going to be G, up to a C chord, back to a G chord, and then your new chord. This is D. I'll do that again. G, up to C, back to G, and then play your new chord. Move the lower 2 notes down. That's going to be your D chord. And it's in first inversion. Okay, you're going to need those chords to do this next project. Good luck.